All righty then. So I'm going to come to you actually, Cam. Win and challenge, my man. What's been diddling?
Hey guys, win. Big movement with my VA as far as absorbing the workload, the coaching, the training, the videos. I finally opened up podcast websites to him. This morning we actually did his first release. I watched him do it. He did good. So we're making some headway. I'm really happy. A very interesting thing happened this week, by the way, is another win. I got a phone call from a guy who had me penciled in to go out and speak in Denver, and he pretty much solidified it. We need you to come out here. We want you to come out here. We're willing to pay. And oh, by the way, I happen to sit on a national panel for Napa, which is the largest parts distributor in the U.S., NAPA Napa, Mark. And he says we were having a panel and that we were talking about their convention in 2020 that they hold in Las Vegas every 3 years. And what should we do? And they said, well, we need to have Carm Capriato come out and be part of this conference. And they said, oh, really? Cool. And I had met their president a while back, and he asked me, this was the funniest thing. He says, Carm, what do you got going on in 2020? And I can't remember. Oh, it was in April 2020. So I said, I don't know. Let me check my calendar, which was, I laughed my ass off because I just absolutely have no idea what I'm doing in 2020. And even if I'm going to be podcasting, who knows? But anyway, I told them I'd love to be part of it. So they said, well, we'll let you know. So that was exciting. And, those kind of things that are going on. And challenges has just been, oh, by the way, I'm getting very, very close, everyone, to launching the new show for the record. Very, very close, to the point that I have episode 0 done, episode 1 done, episode 2 done. And I think I may launch Thursday. So to me, those are, thank you, Andrea. I'm so cool about it and excited about it. And now I'm just kind of developing a little bit of a marketing campaign around it. And so anyway, and so it didn't take long for me to get a VA to make that next big move.
Good work, man. That's awesome. How are you feeling in terms of like your pressure cooker? Because you've always got that much going on.
I actually, Rick or Mark, interesting. I don't think I could have decided to do what I did for the record if Rick wasn't relieving some pressure points. And as much as I've been doing a dual role in teaching and training him, it's really been a surprise to me. He's sending out emails to the guests, all of these real level details that were time consumers for me, that were just, they were, pulling levers, just doing routine stuff that I have him doing now has really opened up some time. It's like this. If I see 5 minutes of free time, I make it 10 and I rock and I go somewhere. So he's really been able to open me up there.
Good. Well done, man. So what's the challenge?
Well, I don't the challenge. Just utilizing Rick and moving forward and challenges. The Apex show, the couple of big things that are coming up to plan for, but otherwise, don't have a lot of challenges this week.
Good, man. Well, that's a great that's a great position to be in. I'm glad that the VA's worked out, because that was something that I knew you were a bit hesitant about, but it's awesome, man. Well done. That's really good. Been a good month for you. Good. Yeah. Well done, buddy. Andrea, hello. You're back in the fold. What's been going on? Wins, challenges, ups and downs, a lot of ups. A lot of ups.
Got my global education summit in the books, and it was amazing. 800 people from 34 countries, all looking to move education forward, and it was really great. I actually recorded a session while I was there. It was very difficult to get people to commit to record this. I don't know. It's just these people are afraid to record. But I did capture an interview, so that was really good. Carved out a possible partnership with a colleague in Dubai, which I have a call about tomorrow. And that may result in another partnership with another colleague out of the UK. I've got 60 of 100 of my onboarding emails done for my ecosystem.
Nice.
I've got a leadership meeting scheduled July 23rd and 24th to do an Appreciative Inquiry Summit. And I'm working on the agenda right now, just touch base with the CEO this morning. The opportunities that lie ahead of me, I'm really getting bogged down in the tech, and I think it's at a point where I need help with that. It's becoming such a time suck for me that I need help with it. I just have to say that this is not my area of strength, and if I want to build something forward, I need help with that piece. And my other challenge is releasing what I wrote from the summit and posting the pictures with them. So that's me in a nutshell.
Good. Well done on the summit. It's been. It sounds like it's been really, really strong moves. All pulling all the dots together and connecting them all back up. Everything that you've done for the last year or so has really kind of moved into that space, and that feels like the culmination of it. Feels like that chapter's done. Now it's time to put the foot down and start the next one. So well played on that. And we can have a chat about the tech tomorrow, figure out what we need to do and where we need to go with that one. But yeah, I think for now, obviously, just be pleased and proud of what you've done in that space. Coming along such a long way in a year's time and really dialing in on what you do for people. That's a massive step.
Hey, thanks.
Well done. Really, really good. All righty then, Ricardo. What about you, sir? In the blazing heat of California, what's been going on, man? Wins and challenges?
Let's see. So last week we were traveling, World Domination Summit, and that was amazing. I did a Men and Masculinity meetup there, and that has now turned into a monthly meetup that I'm going to be holding virtually with guys. So really, really cool. It was amazing to watch these guys go through that experience, and it's validated that there's definitely a need for this kind of work. So just adding that into the spectrum of things I do. Been rehearsing a ton. I'm glad I was at WDS and saw a couple of really good speakers that helped me realize how much more I just need to settle into just telling my story and not worrying about some of the other crap I'm trying to throw into this podcast movement. So that was really good. I think I got close to 50 recordings for the 300th episode. I'm doing this kind of like person on the street sort of thing for the 300th episode, where I just ask people to say, my name is Rick and my bold move is, or the bold move I want to make. So I'm headed to National Speakers Association this week. We'll continue that. Getting ready to launch an email out to my list saying if anybody would like to participate. There's a voice recording thing that's going to be on my website by noon today, where people can just go to a link and they just push the button and they record and it gets sent over to me. So I'm hoping to get 300, but I'm not going to hold myself to that number, but it would be kind of cool to get 300 voices saying that. So and that's where I'm at. Challenges is now I'm time crunched for the next 2 weeks. I am literally on the road. Leave Thursday, come back Tuesday, leave Saturday, come back the following Friday. So, yep, that's where I'm at.
Good, man. Good movements. And I know have you got more speaking stuff coming up after podcast movement as well? Remind me, have you got?
Yeah, then I start, I got one at a college. I'm trying to work through this California Association campus one that contacted me. I've sent a couple of follow-up emails, haven't heard back. So today I'm going to just call them direct and go, what's going on?
Okay.
Hopefully that'll close. If that closes, that'll be in October. And we're pushing. I mean, when I got home last week, I think I did about 30 outreaches to college, video outreaches, and I'm going to be working on those again today. Between now and Wednesday, I'd like to get 100 more outreaches done. So before I leave and go out of town. That's where I'm at.
Good. Cool, man. Well, good work. Always keeping the foot down. That's always good. Are you feeling health-wise? You feeling better? You were kind of a bit run down last time we spoke. You over that little?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit better.
Yeah, cool, man.
When you get old, everything starts to hurt. So.
Hey, I know that.
Just when things get better, when something else goes.
Wait a minute. Let me be the judge of getting old and what hurts.
What hurts, Cam? Have we got long enough?
No.
What hurts when you say things like that, Mark? That's what hurts.
Never mind. Remember, I'm the senior member of this panel.
We all look to you for advice and inspiration. Don't give me that. Cool work, Craig. Nice one, man. I'm looking forward to catching up tomorrow as well. So, Raf, what about you, man? Give us a quick rundown, the win and the challenge. Give us the headlines.
Hey guys, how are you today?
Good.
So I have actually a couple wins, very good wins. Last week we didn't meet, and I was going to type it out, and that's one of my challenges. My follow-up still sucks. I still don't follow up with email, and I still don't follow up with text message. So that's my challenge. But the win is my buddy went out to the PGA Tour here in Virginia, and I'm at home. Here at Virginia, and he was my first sort of brand ambassador. He says, hey, give me some stickers. And I said, sure. And he totally failed it, which was actually kind of the coolest part, because he actually got to realize what I've been doing for 3 years. And handing out a sticker is not just as easy as hanging out a sticker. But through that, we are starting actually a brand ambassador process. So going back to a lot of the lessons we had before is that I'm building the process of, hey, how to hand out a sticker. But even before how to hand out a sticker is, am I in the right situation? Look at the scenario. Who are these people? So all these little nuances that I've learned in the last 3 years, I'm now trying to teach my buddy, and he's willing to be the guinea pig as we go through this whole process. And the amazing thing about it is that the crazy goal that we set out for the Back to Moon, I remember earlier, late last year, Mark said, establish a crazy goal. The crazy goal was that we're going to pass out 1 million stickers by December 31st, 2020. And I was like, man, how in the heck am I going to do this? Well, the win is that now I realize that I'm not going to hand out 1 million stickers. Other people are going to help me hand out 1 million stickers. And that's going to be so cool. So the second win, and I'm going to talk real fast, is I got a full loop. I finally got a full served loop. I served someone. He took a picture of the serve sticker in his office. Then he served his buddy, and then he took a selfie of him serving his buddy. So I actually got a full loop, and I'm so excited. That happened yesterday, where I got the message where he went out to visit his buddy, and he served them, actually took a selfie and sent it to me. So we've kind of gone halfway through the loop, but it kind of gets lost there where I don't know where the second sticker goes. I get a lot of feedback verbally that they give it to my buddy or that, but I never had an actual selfie. So we got a full loop. And then the third win, I got my first snail mail request. So someone followed me on Instagram, and I figured out on Instagram how to send an instant message. And basically I said, hey, listen, I see you're an Army vet. If you give me your snail mail, I'll send you a get one, give one. The dude instantly gave me his message. And then I told him, hey, this is so exciting. You're the first guy. And then he actually went to the website and started following me on the website. So proof of concept, Mark. Remember you're saying sticker to website was a huge leap, but it was happening. This one went, not even a sticker, social media, website, and then the sticker. Anyway, so it's actually really cool how it's starting to bounce around in different ways. And then I actually will throw this one in. I'm not actually getting money for any of my stickers, but the true value is that people are giving their time and they're giving themselves in pictures. I met a guy yesterday, was a vet, doesn't take pictures at all. And I said, hey, well, can I take a picture? He says, for you, I will do the picture and I'll make an exception. So my monetary value in all this isn't that I'm getting paid money just yet, but I'm getting people's trust, confidence, and that's what it is, right, Mark? We are they get to like you, they get to know you, and then they get to trust you. And so that's the exchange in monetary that I'm getting here. So a lot of proofs of concepts are getting validated, and that's what's so exciting. And this is just sort of the beginning. I can feel that it's the beginning. Good, my challenge is my day job that I'm split, because I'm starting to get pulled with higher resources there. My need there is getting higher. And then as Serve is starting to launch or take off, I feel like Gumby, getting stretched from the left and then stretched from the right. So that's the one thing I have to keep on balancing, because that other job, my day job, is what pays the bills right now.
Okay, well, it's the social media is the big play there. Keep on with that, because that's still a very new thing for you. I think that's a great, what you're doing with that. I've been following it on Instagram, obviously. I think the way that you're connecting with people and putting it on the stories and putting it on just keep doing that. Just keep on doing it. And try and get that shareability up. Maybe start moving into some quick video stuff and try and get the shareability up. But it's all one step at a time. We can talk about that tomorrow. But it's very interesting. Cool. Thank you very much.
Well, I wanted to give a quick shout out to Andrea, because Andrea and I did this little accountability partner thing. We have all identified that we are kind of on the same path. Andrea and I, we're kind of a match set. And on Slack, she's been calling me out, and she's been like, boom. And I was like, well, I did one Instagram. No, I need 2 more. And so great shout out to Andrea and for being my accountability partner.
Good, that's what we like. Nice work. That's a good pairing, actually. I like that. Well played.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, well done, Ref.
Thank you. Louisa,
over to you guys. The clan. What's going on? Wins and challenges. What's been happening?
Oh, it's been a really great week. I met with the doctor, and as it turned out that he had a practice of 10,000 patients. He had about 6 other doctors there, and he's increasing by 120 patients per month steadily. But so he was very, very interested in partnering. He said to send him content and all the stuff, then he would share on all of his social media. He's very active on social media. He just started. He's very business minded, and he also said to use his office space and do workshops, and he'll help advertise and promote the workshops. And he told me to leave the special needs to the side for right now. He said that's 10% of his practice, but majority of his practice and majority of the parents are lost and they don't know where to go. They're just jumping from one self-help book to another, one parenting book to another, never sticking with anything, don't really know what to do with their kids. And so he said do workshops tailoring to that larger population to start with. So he seemed like he really wanted to partner and really wanted to help and really wanted to do stuff together. So that's exciting. And I'm trying to figure out, so what would be a good workshop to start with as a once a month thing. And I'm thinking that may replace the Facebook Live, where everybody can come and get some materials and gain some trust there and decide where they want to go. Challenges I found, it seems that people he sent that comes to me want to know which therapist to go to. And what was the most amazing was I was at church yesterday and there was a friend. Well, not a close friend, but more like an acquaintance, but she knows what we do. She knows what I do. When I asked her, how's the summer? She said, oh yeah, we're done. We're so ready to go back to school. And she was not knowing what to do with her boys, and they were having big issues, and she was exhausted, and she was telling me, and I did this and I did that. I did everything, and now I'm even going to go see a therapist. And I'm just thinking that I don't know how to break this when people are so lost. They're doing everything. They're going to see therapists. They're driving all over the town. But what would make them come to me for a solution, because I've done all of that, Anyway, so that's one point. We're also trying to get, instead of trying to collect emails with all of the content that we're pushing, which has been difficult because the engagement is very high, but people don't take an action to give the email. So that's pretty difficult. People are sharing, they're engaging, they're doing this and that with the content, but they're not, when they come to the website, they're not giving an email. So that's difficult. And over the weekend, I've crafted about 2 to 3 under 1 minute videos to introduce myself or to state what the problem is and what solution you need. And I was going to close that video that we're going to post on the website and be the homepage. I was going to close that video with an invitation to an assessment or like an exploration session to talk about what's going on. And that was going to be a $70 to $100 actual paid session where they come and we assess what's going on and they walk away with an action plan. So I was thinking of just making the action call be that directly instead of trying to get an email. I don't know what your thoughts are.
It's a difficult thing. One of the things that I wanted to talk about today was the one consistent piece. I've been thinking about you guys as personal branding outlets as opposed to content creators, looking at this from a slightly different perspective. And this is quite an interesting question that sort of falls under that banner. So the challenge that you've got there, Louisa, is that the reason someone's not given an email address is because that's basically a transaction, and they don't see the value or trust you enough to give you the transaction. They're not willing to transact with you on that basis. The same goes for the monetary value. Now, the only possible benefit the monetary thing has is that they've got skin in the game when they do that. You know, they've got more skin in the game because they're going to need to give you their email address anyway to book the session. But they're laying money on the line. So it's a much more considered decision. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That actually acts as a really nice little tripwire product. Rick's got a discovery session, which is in there around the same kind of thing. I've cut my stuff right back, but I've got my deep focus sessions, which there are a super limited amount of them, but they do get booked up. So that that idea is in there. There's nothing wrong with that. I'd go back the other way, and I'd look at what can bridge the gap between content and an email address, and that in my opinion is a piece of something that is consistent, that someone can turn up to with no risk. And it's sort of what I want to talk about today, thinking of you guys as personal branding businesses. And the conversation I wanted to have today was really around the fact that we all kind of do something consistently. So Rick's got his podcast, Cam's got his town hall and his podcast. Andrea's just blitzing the networking. You guys have got your show, you've got your blog, and so Raf, you've got your Instagram stuff and your sticker campaign, which is wonderful. So it's like what's the bridging of the gap that you can take and do something consistently with, but that is just about you. So what I mean by that, again, my free coaching is my example. Podcast website is the one-to-one calls, and the webinars are the example, and now some of the IGTV stuff. But like, what's the one thing that each of you do that is completely consistent, but is just about you? That's not town hall, that's not guests, that's not building other people's profile, that like is the main thing. And that kind of leads to answering that question as well, Louisa. Like if you had something like that, like we know you've done the Facebook Lives, not too keen on the engagement you were getting there, but what is the consistent, personally branded piece where someone can turn up 10, 20, 30 times just to get a feel for you and then decide to transact? Like what is that one piece that puts you at the center of it? So something to think about today, really. I don't know. I mean, what's going on with your Facebook Lives, Louisa? Like, how are they going? What's the situation with them?
I did not do it for a while. I've done some local meetings instead, so I stopped doing it. Especially since it doesn't even seem to get out. It's done from a business account, and I think Facebook is even blocking it. So I didn't do it anymore. But I'm thinking of a free Facebook group, because you'll have to enter the email to go in, but it's a support group and it's free. Would people say no to that?
It's no difference. All you're doing here is you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. That's all that's happening here. You are just looking for a shortcut through technology and mechanism versus choosing one thing and sticking to the one thing that will just get you where you need to be. So it's really a case of just picking one thing, whether it's a group, whether it's, you know, the Facebook Live or a workshop. You just need something that you will guarantee to be at every single week, because it's super low risk then. You know, you've got the marketing angle then of, look, you don't even need to register. You just turn up at this place at this time. You know, it's a really good way of building up the noise, building up the trust, building up just some real loyal fans that will shout about it. And then what you've got to do then is you've got to use that when it comes to partnerships. You've got to go out there. Remember, we talked ages and ages ago about guesting on podcasts and making that list of shows and the other Facebook groups. You've just got to go out and talk to other people about your thing. And then when they're saying, what can we tell people to do? If you're the person that's saying, well, turn up to this thing every single week and I will be there regardless, like no one else is doing that. Everyone's pitching a book or pitching something to buy. You know, you've got to, you can kind of disarm people with being just genuinely full of value. So it's worth considering. Having said that, I know it is difficult to stick to something when you think, well, there's only 3 or 4 people on there.
Mark, can I jump in?
Go on, yeah.
So one of the things you bring in tremendous value here is things that I discovered with the Served brand. So I remember doing stickers, I was doing bullets, we were looking into t-shirts, we were looking into ball caps, and we ended up with the one thing, and the one thing is the sticker. And the way I disarm people is they think that I'm trying to sell them something. And I tell them, Served sells absolutely at this point nothing. We don't sell anything. I'm giving you this as a token of appreciation. Remember that little statement there? And I tell you what, that is where the instant win happens. You can literally see the doors open. I mean, it is amazing. The body language is now, they lean forward and they're like, okay, what is this now? Because you're not another walking billboard. You're not another walking ad, right? I'm not have to swipe you to the left or to the right or whatever we do. And that is where I think the magic comes into, where the get one, give one, right? Because you really just think about it. It's just a sticker. It's like any other old sticker that just happens to have my SRVD and my logo on there. But what happens is this, I disarm them when I quickly jump in and say, this doesn't cost anything and I'm not selling a thing. And I think that's key right there. So you hit it.
Yeah, I think you've got to, you know, what is the one thing that you get known for? So I'm actually, Louise, I'm going to park up and just let you kind of think that through. Calm, I can see you thinking and kind of mulling things over. What's going through your head in terms of that, you know, that kind of, you at the center of a consistent piece? What's going on in that brain of yours?
Mark, I really don't have anything to say, because I incubate these things. I roll all these ideas around, and I wrote this down. How do people get a feel for you, to get comfortable, to trust you, so that they want to work with you? I mean, yeah, I think that's where my brand happens to be right now. I think people are seeing it, but maybe not enough are. And so I've got to just play with that. I don't have anything concrete right now.
Okay, man, that makes sense. Remember, it's not just about making people want to work with you. It's as much about, I was talking to, I can't remember who it was, someone up at CMA Live a while ago, and we were talking about the whole EO Fire thing and what John's done there and done so very well with it. But then now everyone's doing the same thing. And like, John was there first. He was there making as much noise as he could about doing something different. And everyone's kind of following suit. Even now, 6 years later, people are still following suit with it. And we were talking about this idea of like, what noise can you make in what is now just a significantly much more saturated market? Now, Rick, just to kind of pick up on a point, you looked to work with a PR company, looked at their proposal, looked at what and actually they were telling you something that you already knew. And it's because even the PR guys don't know how to make noise when everyone else is making the same kind of noise. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of why I wanted to talk about this today as well. It's just become really pertinent with some of the new channels that are cropping up, like Instagram TV. You know, there's an opportunity for people in a niche to really just just to be in one place consistently doing something that is just super simple, but that no one else is doing. So, you know, putting that into the context of with you, Rick, you know, we know that when we talk about the coaching, there's a lot of people that need permission to even consider coaching. You know, they need to go through this mental permission stage. Well, you know, why not use one of these channels as a completely anonymous channel? Like, you can watch this broadcast totally anonymous on this webpage at this time every week, and just, I will be there. I can guarantee you I will be there, and I will do that. And it's anonymous. And then if you're ready, at the point that you are ready, it might be 10 weeks. But for every part of the 10 weeks at this time every week, I will be there. You know, there's just, I don't think people know how to embrace doing something that isn't about 10,000 downloads. It's just about getting one person and then getting the next person, then getting the next person.
Well, Mark, I'm sorry, Rick, is that you? Go ahead.
You know, it's interesting that you're bringing this up, because we were out over the weekend doing a quick walk down to the beach and back. And as we came around the corner, this guy came up to me and he said, "Hey, it's me, Ed." And I'm like, Ed. And I realized he and his wife, we had ridden bikes with many, many months ago when we first moved here. And he goes, "I just love everything you're doing." And it kind of took me aback. I'm like, okay, well, I didn't even realize we were connected. But then as I got home and started looking, I found out he and I had become Facebook friends after the ride. And so I sent him a message, said, "Hey, it was really good to see you." I said, "You made the comment, you love everything I'm doing. I really appreciate that, but I'm really curious, what is this everything I'm doing?" And he said, "I look forward to every time I see that you recorded a video."
Nice.
And I didn't, you know, I do it so haphazardly, but this is about the 10th person in the last 2 weeks who has made some comment similar to that. And so what I'm realizing is when I do, which is what I'm really, I guess over the last couple of weeks, what I really realized, when I just step in and just talk about something off the cuff, something that's hitting me, something that's affecting me, that's when people connect. And it isn't about the downloads, it's about connecting with people. And I'm realizing this is one of those things I need to do more of. And so I'm, you know, as soon as I get back, and I may do some of it while I'm gone or between times that I'm gone, I realize what I want to do is set a goal of once a week in all of my Facebook channels. So my personal, my coming out coach, and Gay Man's Life coach, to just go on there and record something that's just about that channel, whether it's the coming out group, whether it's the Gay Man's Life coach group. And it's not going to be necessarily about drumming up business. It's just, hey, here's what I observe as a gay man, or here's what I know as somebody who's come out of the closet, whatever it is. It has nothing to do with drumming up the business. Because I realized this is what it takes. It's the connection pieces. And even as I'm getting ready to go to the National Speakers Association, I have suddenly got people that I highly admire who are really well-known speakers saying, "I'm really looking forward to seeing you at NSA because I love watching what you're doing." And these are people I don't have any connection to, so to speak. So I think this is a really poignant conversation, Mark, that we're having, because sometimes I think we get caught up in this, what do I need to do to generate business, when really all you have to do is show up.
Yeah,
show up so the right people see you.
And it's definitely it's like a self-generating referral engine as well. Mm-hmm. You know, I get so many people turning up on the free coaching that have been told about it because they've been speaking to a friend down the pub and they're like, "Yeah, I'm struggling with this thing," and they're like, "Well, I've not got the answer, but this guy might have." And like, he's going to answer it completely for free. So there's definitely something in that. Calm, you put your hand up, sir. Shoot.
Yeah, I did. Mark, guys, team, I've been really struggling mentally with the fact that I need to do videos, Instagram, TV. Interesting side note, Rick, my VA, he's a young man in his 30s. He's all over Instagram, and he showed me this piece of software that I could actually create the post, and then it sends me a text. And then I when I do it from my phone, because that's how you have to post Instagram, And he was amazed that I had not done anything with Instagram, but yet I had all these followers going on and all these likes, and I didn't really realize it. So I had not paid attention to that. The fact of the matter is, with your video on Instagram TV, Mark, I think you started to motivate me to think about doing more of it. But here's my block. Is I got to get out of the I'm curious interviewer mode and into more here's what's on my mind, Rick, and I'm impressed with how you're getting it done. You have a cause, you have a purpose. I've been interviewing people, and I'm becoming a big influencer. I don't know how to flip into how do I get in front of that camera and do these off the cuff things. Any advice from anybody?
I think you've got to look at opinion. Like my entire, I guess, crux of being any kind of personal brand or any kind of influencer, you've got to have an opinion. Whether it's going to piss people off or not, it doesn't matter. You have to have an opinion, and you've got to stick by that opinion. That's the thing that most people that interview forget. So what tends to happen is people interview other people, and then they use that content, and all it does is it builds the brand to a degree, but what it really does is it acts as a PR piece for the person being interviewed. The way that I believe interviewers can do more with that is, certainly in the podcasting game, is have an opinion on that. So you might do like a bit of a weekly opinion piece, Cam. You sit in front of a camera, like you've seen my IGTVs. I take my phone, I go and stick it on the doofer, on the stand, stick my earphones in and talk for 7 minutes. Unscripted, like I literally don't know what I'm talking about until the moment that I sit down. And it's the reason that I say that and the reason that I'm doing it like that is because I think you'll have more of an opinion and more drive and motivation and passion in that if you are just talking about something that matters to you. I wouldn't do it on all the channels, but I think IGTV in particular is very, very good for that.
It's amazing when I get on the phone with people in private conversations, I just start flowing. And when I hang up, I say, damn, that was good. Or your passion really came out. Why can't you get and lift that up and do that on video? And my block, I know, is going to be as I have no one at the other end, the give and the take piece. And it's like, I've got to do that one-on-one. I've got to figure out what the topic is, and I got to figure out what my For the Record show is all about. That it's a personal rant from one of my guests. I don't say anything in it; they just go, and that hit me as I've been editing and listening to this that I've been recording for the last 2 months. I started to look at, damn, that was a really good rant, and I used to do that back in corporate America. I was the guy who always had an opinion.
So, Carm, are you gonna be at Podcast Movement?
No.
Okay. I don't think many of you guys are. So I'm going to share something that just got switched in my talk. And this is exactly how I'm opening the talk, and I think it'll apply to what you just said.
All right.
If somebody had told me in 1999 when I came out of the closet that moment in my life would teach me about every other closet I was going to come out of in my life, I would have told them they were crazy. And then in 2015, I discovered the closet I was getting ready to come out of was a belief that I couldn't be a podcaster. And then I remembered the greatest thing I can do is trust myself to be myself. This is why I think we all struggle with this authenticity piece. I go and I write a speech and I go, oh, what is it I need to teach somebody? Instead, by starting the speech I just did, the way I just did it, I'm coming from my truth. And I think this is why you get hung up, because we think, okay, I got to teach something instead of just showing up. So I don't know if that helps, but.
You just said we think we have to teach something instead of just showing up. God, that's powerful.
Well, and it's a really interesting point, because like, if you've ever watched my free coaching, like Raf will tell you, 90% of the free coaching on Friday was me trying to find a damn microphone. And it was like, honestly, I don't know where it was. I did find it in the end. But it was interesting because people get that kind of behind the scenes. And it's funny because when you then start to answer questions that are actually serious, they've got a lot more gravitas, because you can say them with almost more authority because you don't have to prepare for it. Like the fact that you're looking for a microphone and then giving someone some knowledge in the same breath, it's obvious that you have the knowledge there on tap, ready to go, versus someone that sat there for 5 hours preparing the thing. So, you know, these people that are sat there, like some people on IGTV in particular, I know we're using that as an example, are taking these horizontal videos that they've done for every other channel, sticking a frame around them and just repurposing them and putting them on there. And it's bullshit. It's just pointless. It's a silly use of the platform. So I think if you can just turn up. Now, Louisa, just to come back to that point that you mentioned earlier, like where do I tell someone to go? This person down at the church. If you could say, look, do you know what? Every Tuesday morning, I just hold this thing, whatever it is. I hold a quick Zoom call, a conference call, I do a coffee, I do a free Facebook thing. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You might only get one person on it. But if you do it and do it for a year and do it for 18 months, every single week, it will become something that people rely upon. And it's, you know, for the time input, you know, it can be 20, like an Instagram TV is 15 minutes. Now, the other way you could do this, Louisa, is you could do something like, I'll tell you what, I'll record a video that answers your question and I'll put it on my IGTV channel or on my Facebook page. Remember, it's about getting people into the ecosystem, answer that question and use it as a piece of content. You don't have to name names. It could just be, okay, I was talking to Amy, blah, 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 blah. You can go that person on it. If she's not keen on that, you can say, I was talking to someone at my church, a friend of mine. And we'd started discussing this. And I thought it would be really good for everyone to know my answer. So you still helped her, but you've created this consistent forum piece. And she's going to keep coming back and asking questions and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. You know?
I also had another idea that I started doing over this weekend, but it was the behind the scene as a consistent piece that people can turn up to. And I don't know if you think it needs to be interactive. Doesn't sound like it, because Rick's is just somebody goes and watches it. It's those moments, like you said, we're not teaching, but we're showing up, or for us it's behind the scene. Everybody's curious, what's going on? How do you manage 6 kids? And over the weekend we had the baby that was, I don't know, she needed to be fed, she needed to be held. And so then I used to use sous chefs. Our kids have sous chefs and everybody's doing something to help. And this weekend, it's like the baby just really needed me. So I couldn't even show up in the kitchen. So I held her and I got the boys to work. And so then I started snapping pictures of the boys actually, you know, with a big knife chopping things. Somebody else is doing somebody else is on the grill. Like these kids, I mean, they're really assembling the meals together. And I was just there holding the baby. So I was snapping shots, and then I put a message together, which I didn't post on the Instagram, but this is kind of, I think maybe would be shaping the way our channel goes. But it was that, okay, why fight the 5 p.m. Your dinner time, everybody's hungry, kids are crazy, and the house is flipped upside down, and you got to put dinner on the table. You know, why do that? Why not put your kids to the kitchen? I mean, it's training for them. They get the experience, and you solve your 5 o'clock problem, because you're not chasing the house. You know, you're not chasing kids in the house trying to come up with a meal at the same time. I mean, they're productively, calmly put to work. And so, and then the other idea was, and then Marco came home with a ton of groceries, and the 5 kids went, and everybody brought the groceries in. Everybody was sorting groceries. So then I had another message that I wrote that I didn't post. It was from the trunk to the pantry shelf. It was, you know, and the message was, are you getting your priorities wrong? Are you too busy offloading groceries for the whole clan while missing on the important things of your priority? I mean, your priority is to teach, to guide, to mentor, to nurture. So you ought to not be running groceries between the trunk and the pantry shelf. Your kids need to, and you're there to nurture, to teach, to coach, all of that, right? So there was a lot of those daily moments of, why do we do things that way? But this is how we should do it. And I snapped the pictures. So anyways, that's kind of an idea of how we may end up shaping either the Instagram TV or the Instagram messages. I don't know what you think of it.
Behind the scenes is always good for stuff like that. It's just about, so in that case, it becomes about crafting something consistent. Like it might be dinner time, you know, like you literally might do an everyday 3-minute video, but it's dinner time. You know, pick something and turn it into something else. You know, so pick something that can, yes, can help people, but also like Rick said, you just show up and you take people behind the scenes of it. That's all it is. You know, that's quite literally all it is. And it's not the same kind of thing, but I'm going to be shifting all my entire, the Excellence Expected brand, everything, all of that is gone. It's going, and it's all going to change and just shift into just me behind the scenes of running the business and exactly what's like, legitimately exactly what's going on. And you can do the same thing. You just take the Harmonious Clan started as you running your Harmonious Clan, you know, so the content, the public facing stuff is like the quote unquote sort of, if you think about it, like the like and trust part of it. Use another channel consistently to build up the know. You know, how do people get to know you? And just keep doing. So take something like that and turn it into something. Turn it into maybe a branded piece. You know, it's 5 p.m. There's a 3-minute video. We know. You know, the ultimate goal is to get people looking forward to this. Like Rick said with his guy. You want
So
people to look forward to it.
It needs to be the same time every time. And is it live? I haven't been there.
It doesn't have to be live. I mean, you can do live, that's great, but I would post it at the same time every day and I would brand it something, you know, whatever, 5 minutes at dinner or the dinner, you know, dinner time with a clan. And it's 5 p.m. every single day. And it's just a quick video or a live or whatever, you know, just pick something. The point is not specifically what it is. It's that you do something consistently at a specific time so that you teach people to lean upon it.
So that counts.
Yeah, anything. You can turn anything into this. Anything. It just needs to be something that's consistent, that doesn't disappear after 3 months because it's, you know, it's not getting quote unquote email signups or results. You know, we've got to get people used to where you'll be, you know?
Yeah, so it doesn't need to be coaching of any form. Doesn't need to be where you're really helping, trying to solve a personal question. It could just be a little entertaining learning every day.
Yeah, it can just be a very, very solid, here's what we do every single day. And people will learn just through the fun. People will learn just through the fun of it. You know, you're going to be telling people, even in your behaviors, how you handle the kids, how you talk to them, they'll be taking things from that. You know, they'll be like, you know, I could maybe do that. I could do a little bit like that. Or did you notice what Louisa said then? Or I should talk to my kids like that. Or I want them to talk to me like that. You know?
Yeah.
So that would kind of work. And Andrea, I'm kind of going to open that to you because you work in that family space, albeit from an AI and a positive psychology perspective. I'm seeing something very similar for you because you're using yourself as the case study. You know, very often on our calls, you tell me exactly what you've implemented at home and you tell me the stories of what the kids have done and how great it's been at school. You know, this is entertaining, but it's also passive learning as well. So this is a really good opportunity for you to do stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
Could be very interesting.
FYI, this has been very rewarding to me. I've been just rambling with all kinds of thoughts, Rick, ever since you said that. Just this could be a breakthrough moment for me on the video piece. Thank you. Because you know what, I keep hearing more and more from this morning, a long rant in Facebook Messenger about wanting to know more about you. And I stumbled upon your 300th episode where people interviewed you. And we so enjoyed knowing more about you and then asking me some questions about, you know, their listening app and stuff. And, you know, I guess I have to go back and look at those, Rick, as moments that should be able to fuel your authentic self.
One of the interesting things there, Cam, actually, you keep mentioning that rant idea. My content, the content that gets the most shares is when I'm walking home from the train station and I have a rant about something on Instagram Live. I wake up to like 1,000 people getting in touch with me about the content and like 1 million shares. And it's just literally me having, like I saw a sign the other day and I had a rant about it. And it just got the most traction ever, just because I'm like, this is stupid, So there's definitely something to be said for having an opinion and standing up for it on these kinds of platforms.
So Ann and I were out Saturday night. A great friend of mine is a lead guitarist, and his band was out at a club on the edge of Lake Erie. What a blast. And so we're on the dance floor shaking a leg, and there's all these kind of cool signs around. It was just a fun place. And I said, I haven't had fun like this in a while. I'd love to be able to share that. No, that's not what I do. That's what I said to myself. I don't share those fun, crazy moments. I don't talk about them. I'm very private when it comes to that. And I think what you're saying is that content would probably be refreshing for my audience.
Well, people want to know you're a real person. People want to, you're all building personal brand businesses and then scared to put the personal into it. And I get it. It's difficult.
Yeah.
So, for example, the doctor I was talking about to you, Carm, I think because you're such a great influencer, you're so formal, you interview people and all of that, I think that personal piece, you on the dance floor, would be very interesting. And when I was talking to the doctor and he was sharing with me, he said, all of the stuff that he told me, the content that gets the most engagement, the most sharing are the really stupid things. It was a picture of his dog and his daughter lying in the couch, and that got shared. And then there was another one, a picture of his family, and that got shared. I think when you're a big influencer, people just want to see you on the dance floor. People want to see your couch.
I have a really good friend, Louisa, who did a Facebook video last week on a bottle of gin and some special bitters that he put in it, and he actually did this 3-minute video on how to make a really good gin and tonic. And he's a really good friend. He's been on the show a lot. He owns a shop, and I'm thinking, and I'm watching this, and I'm saying, my God, he got 800 views in like 2 days. And I'm thinking, how to make a gin and tonic? I guess I can do something like that.
Hey, that one actually has a little teaching. No, I'm talking about his dog lying on the couch.
Oh, I get it. I get it. Yeah.
It was, and there was a time when Marco posted something about him. He took the clan hiking, and it was about, hey, we're out hiking. What are you doing this Saturday? It was something really dumb, really stupid. I'm like, there's no content to it, but they got a lot of responses. And I think it's the personal. I don't know. They just want entertainment. They just want to check out what other people are doing.
And anything that shows how you live your life, people want to connect with people. That whole know, like, trust thing. It's not just a business thing anymore. It's about connecting with the people. That's why I've only got one Instagram. Yeah, the businesses, podcast websites, and the new tech has got it's got a separate Instagram account, a separate Twitter account. If you're eagle-eyed, you'll spot it. We've not publicized it yet. But we've very carefully put, like, my account is very much business content, behind the scenes content, personal content. It's a pure mix of each, because I'm allowed to say things about the business on my channels that I can't say on the business channels, because it's my opinion of running my business. No one can possibly argue with that. But on the branded side of things, you've got to be a little bit careful sometimes. So for you guys, you don't have the tech business. You don't have you are served, Raf. You can be that one brand, So that's definitely a play you've got to make. It's definitely something that you've got to consider. And I think for you, Cam, it becomes, and actually for you as well, Rick, it becomes more pertinent to have that one consistent piece, whether it's daily, weekly, or whatever. Because people need to, in your case, Cam, people need to get to know you. You're behind the interview. With you, Rick, people need permission to come in without the expectation of interacting.
So, Carm, one of the things that I'm doing when I was talking about my win earlier about the exchange in monetary value is not dollars, but it's people taking a picture. It was when I'm talking about served, I get so excited that I say, look, I'm doing this Instagram thing. Look at all these pictures. And folks are seeing, are making the connection really quickly. They're learning really quickly. And like Mark just said a little bit ago, they will learn. They're learning really quickly that if you see me, and you're a service member, responder, veteran, or dependent, you're about to get served, right? You're about to get 2 of these stickers, and we take a quick snapshot. And so after I show them, and a lot of people are smiling, and I have a lot of them on my gallery that I haven't actually posted up because I'm still trying to figure out the metering of all this. I'm not a real-time guy, so that's one of those things that I it's a goal that I want to get to, but like I have like 20 pictures I haven't uploaded, but I show them and I'm sharing them. Look at all the smiles. Look how everybody's excited. Then they get excited, and then I gently say, are you a picture person? Can we take a picture? And they'll say, no, I'm not a picture person, but I'll do it for this. And that's kind of the whole thing about it, is that exchange happened because they got to see how excited I am about Served, how excited other people are about Served, and how excited they are about Served, this idea. And so kind of, you know, the whole loop about it is you start showing people that you can shake a leg, right? You're exposing that little bit. And it was dead spot on what Mark said, because before I was trying to take a picture of them holding the Served sticker, and Mark fussed at me and said, no, dude, you got to be in the picture. And I was like, no, I don't want to be in the picture. And it's a selfie. It has to be, you have to be in the picture. And that was game changer right there, because as soon as I put my ugly mug on the picture, no one actually, and the funny thing about it is I was talking to my wife about it because she's looking through all the pictures, and I'm asking her, oh, my hair doesn't look good. My eye looks like I have a black eye. Why does my face look so weird in that picture? And my wife looks at me and she said, no one's looking at you. People are looking at the person. And I said, what do you mean? And she's like, you're the constant in all these. You and the sticker are the constant. People are looking at the different faces. And I was like, oh, so no one's looking at my hair? And she's like, no. And I'm like, oh.
I think the big takeaway with that, Raf, as well, and we'll close on this one because it's coming off. Didn't realize the time. But the big thing there, and this is the point of this, is what you're trying to create is this idea of we, not this idea of you and me. It's this idea of we. And that's the big thing. Even if it's a one-way, so like in Rick, in your case, that anonymous, okay, you can watch this thing. You don't even need to register. You don't even need to interact with me. You just get permission to watch this thing, which might tip you over the edge into getting in touch with me, giving yourself that permission. You're actually, even with a one-way broadcast, you're creating this idea of we, because that's how you phrase it, is we can do this, we can do that, we can all achieve this. That's what we need to aim for. And a lot of people are saying I, or you. You know, it's not about that. So that's the real, I guess that's the real crux on the point of this thing. So one of the things that I want to just kind of throw out to you guys, gauntlet down as well, is just kind of come up with one consistent piece that you will do every week that is on a channel, and it's entirely focused on putting you right at the center of it. It could be IGTV, it could be Instagram stories, it could be a Facebook Live, it could be a webinar, whatever it is. Like, what's the one piece that you will always be able to rely upon, and that if anyone ever says, where can I find you online, you can say, go to this place at this time and I will be there. Okay, so that's the little takeaway from today. Thoughts and questions? We're all talking tomorrow. Any parting shots? Any parting wisdom? No? Silence it is. Cool. Right, guys. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. Looking forward to chatting to everyone. Andrea, we're in at the usual time. I think we're all in it. Rick, we're in tomorrow, aren't we? We shifted one of yours, didn't we? I'm sure. Was that last time?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I thought
we're on tomorrow. We're on tomorrow at 8 for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Mark, you were asking me to shift. Remember, you asked me if I could shift to 9, but we kept it at 7.
No, that's all good for me, man. Yeah, as long as you're all right with it.
Yeah.
Whichever works. Whichever works from my side. So that's all good, bro. We can chat. We'll all chat tomorrow then. Louise, I'll see you tonight, your time. Adios, team. Good work.
All right, bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Great.